chance and work twins nuns. And I think I word. I think I words and work twins is none. Picky Roblox. That'll work. Yeah. Yeah, and work twins nuns and work twins is nuns. That'll work. That'll work. Ik heb al watervoorts. Ik forage voor de voice. En ik het. En ik heb van nice. Yeah, fuck. That'll work. And work twins nuns. That works. And work twins nuns. And work twins nuns. And work twins. Roblox and work with transcendence and a work with transcendence. I don't like work like fake today. That work. Nice. That work. And it works between cinema. Let's see. I will convert today. Stop it. And it works between cinemas. Up for the birds. The birds. It's easy. Time sun. It's easy. Around words and water control and so goodbye. By dinners. And water trains nuts. And water trains nuts. And water train is nuts. Nice. And they got fun. And they got fun. And they got and water trains nuts. Nice. Picky and get out and work with train and snuts about worse and go work with train and work with train snuts. And what concerns nuts. Goodbye. And what returns nuts. And what nice.
Okay, it's infection mode. Alright guys, so I'm just going into like a public one because as
News story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center here in New York City. It happened just a few moments ago, apparently. We have very little information available about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center here in New York City. It happened just a few moments ago, apparently. We have very little information available at this point in time, but on the phone, we do have Jennifer Oberstein, who apparently witnessed this event. Jennifer, can you hear me? News story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center here in New York City. It happened just a few moments ago, apparently. We have very little information available at this point in time, but on the phone... Hi, can you please... Obviously, a very...
Okay, it's infection mode. Okay, it's infection mode. Split everyone off to single player. Okay, it's infection mode. Wow.
Breaking news story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center here in New York City. It happened just a few moments ago, apparently. We have very little information available at this point in time, but on the phone, we do have Jennifer Oberstein, who apparently witnessed this event. Jennifer, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, can you please, obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center. CNN Center right now is just beginning to work on this story happening this morning there, the south end of the island of Manhattan. That is, once again, a picture of one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
Well, you can see these pictures. It's obviously something devastating. pause there for just a moment.
Mom, I mean, do you know if there were many people in the building?
Another one just hit. Something else just hit. A very large plane just flew directly over my building, and there's been another collision. Can you see it? I can see it on the shot.
Oh, my.
Something else has just...
We
and that
just
looks
saw
more
a
like a
plane circling the
747.
building. We just saw a plane circling the building a second ago on the shot right before
I think
that.
there may have been another impact. Can you tell? I just heard another very loud bang, and a very large plane that might have been a DC-9 or 747 just flew past my window, and I think it may have hit the Trade Center again.
To be honest, Elliot, I didn't get the impression that it was that big a plane.
It looks big from here.
I did see a plane go by a second ago, though, and it has now impacted the building. I'm trying to see if it's the different tower.
I think it may have been. I believe the first one was World Trade Center 1, and it looks, from what I'm seeing on television, like it may have been
We're
the
going to
second
see,
building.
this is a piece of tape, and we may actually see another plane enter the picture here in a second.
I wonder if there are air traffic control problems.
Let's go back to Jennifer Oberstein, who was talking to a second ago. Jennifer, did you see this happen?
Hello?
Did you just see this happen, Jennifer?
Matt, I've never seen anything. It looks like a movie. I saw a large plane, like a jet, go immediately headed directly into the World Trade Center. It just flew into it, into the other tower coming from south to north. I watched the plane fly into the World Trade Center.
One shortly after 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And as you can see, the tower on the left was hit just above the midsection point. They're both 110 floors high, 1,300 feet above the...
The worker told us that apparently that it was an American Airlines plane that had been hijacked from Boston to Los Angeles, but we're just getting initial reports of that. And again, we must tell you that we're trying to get as much information, but it is trickling in at a very slow pace. So all of this is unconfirmed, and of course speculation of a terrorist attack is unconfirmed, although that is what some Pentagon officials are saying. Let's go to President Bush right now.
Unfortunately, we'll be going back to Washington after my remarks. Secretary Rod Pace and Lieutenant Governor will take the podium and discuss education. I do want to thank the folks here at the Booker Elementary School for their hospitality. Today, we've had a national tragedy. 2 airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country. I have spoken to the Vice President, to the Governor of New York, to the Director of the FBI, and have ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families, and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now, if you join me in a moment of silence. May God bless the victims, their families, and America. Thank you very much.
That, of course, was President Bush, who is in Florida, in Longboat Key. He was speaking at an elementary school. He had planned to be talking about literacy. Obviously, he had to change. He mentioned that this is an apparent terrorist attack. He is traveling back to Washington. He said that he had spoken to the governor of New York as well as the vice president, that all the resources will be brought to bear by the federal government to determine who did this and who was responsible for this terrible, terrible event. And then
Hostile was at the controls of this plane?
Exactly right. They had no other information, just that at least one of the 2 planes was hijacked from Boston en route to Los Angeles, presumably after it had already been in the air and en route, because I was told en route to Los Angeles. So probably hijacked after it had taken off. As you know, those are very short flights. Those are usually 737s or 757s on that route. But this clearly, according to the U.S. government, is a terror attack, as you heard the president say. Now, one of the things, Matt and Katie, we should understand is that there was no specific threat that the U.S. government is aware of.
With you throughout the morning, but right now we want to talk with Larry Johnson, a terrorism expert. In fact, the former deputy director of the State Department's Office on Counterterrorism. Mr. Johnson, can you please put this into some kind of perspective for us and give us your insight on what might have happened here?
Well, first we need to be cautious before jumping to the conclusion that it's necessarily terrorism. I mean, I would be inclined, based upon the preliminary reports we've seen, to say that that's the case. But there's always the possibility that you may find out after the fact nothing to do with politics.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're looking at a live picture from Washington, and there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon. It would appear that there has been another major explosion, this one in the nation's capital. You are looking at a scene of apparent blast aftermath. There is smoke in the air over the Pentagon. We don't know whether this is the result of a bomb or whether it is yet another aircraft that has targeted a symbol, the United States power, but there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon. This is coming at 9:43 Eastern Time. The president right now is on his way back from Florida. He had gone there for an educational event. In a brief remarks, he said this was an apparent terrorist attack on our country. We do have a couple of reports, one from AP, one from Reuters, reporting that an American Airlines plane was hijacked, that a United Airlines plane was hijacked, supposedly one of those two planes hijacked out of Boston. At this point, the Pentagon, the White House, the Capitol, and the Treasury have been evacuated in Washington.
But if you look at cities who are prepared to handle an incident like this, and as you've seen, New York, something like this, and Washington is probably the other. Immediately when this happened, the entire emergency service unit, which comprises hundreds of specially trained cops, was mobilized to the scene. Now a triage center for the injured has been set up.
Even further than it did a few minutes ago. It was asking all planes not to take off. Now the FAA has ordered all aircraft currently for us has been here. They may think they prepare for this kind of thing here, but man, it must have been a shock.
Stunning shock. The FBI Special Operations Center is now in full alert. The FBI is extremely concerned about something, but right now, the first order of business is to protect against a second attack, third attack. The feeling is normally when you have this kind of more attacks almost immediately.
Let's go to the trade tower again, because John, we now have what do we have? We don't.
It looks like a new plume, a new large plume of smoke.
Now, it may be that something fell off the building. It may be that something has fallen. We don't know, to be perfectly honest. But that is what you're looking at, is the current. That's the scene at this moment at the World Trade Center. Stan Daler from ABC's Good Morning America is down.
That's a videotape replay.
We are back at 10:30 Eastern Time on this Tuesday morning, this horrific, incredible, not to be believed Tuesday morning. You are looking at live pictures of the World Trade Center where just a few minutes ago, within the last minute,